Hello. I wanted to start this video by letting you know I have no clue what I want to share today, but I felt like making something. Today I have a little bit of mustache. I think it's gonna grow in a little bit more. Then I'll probably cut it. I don't think I like it as much at this point in my life, but yeah, I had a mustache for a few years. Mustache and the goatee, so I'm trying to grow it to full thickness, and then maybe I'll shave it, but maybe not. Which is the main reason why I wanted to make this video, was to tell you about that. So if that was all that you wanted to hear, you can click off. But yeah, I guess I do like the idea of wanting to do or create something, and taking the little bitty steps that that you can towards that. And usually they feel too insignificant, or really it's you knowing what you think it would take for you to accomplish something, and procrastinating that big jump, because you're really kind of just pushing yourself to make the big jump. And yeah, that's kind of that is what kind of happened to me today, where I'm in a situation in my life where I am living at my parents' place, so I have certain things covered as far as food and where I live and stay, but I have the desire to make some money to do other things with, or to use to travel or to move, something along those lines. And I kind of have been just giving myself time after hurting my hip, and then just going through a lot of stuff with health and personal things. Can you see the hummingbird? It's gone. I tried to point to the screen, but this is how it works. Anyway, but yeah, I've just kind of been in a state where it's like I don't really know what I want to do. But I just kind of felt like, what kept coming up is like, I'd like to have some money to explore and do things with. So it was kind of like, I don't know what I want to do as far as picking up a job or what might come about. And but I knew that there was something that I wanted, and it kind of just started where it was like, what would normally happen is like I'd wait for a certain amount of motivation or day that I felt like getting out or getting a job or a specific place. And yeah, it would be either wait for that or like force myself, like, okay, here's a place, you know. But I just kind of didn't feel like that was for me. Today, I just didn't have the motivation to do that, and but I saw what I was wanting, which was for something to happen, and I let myself do the exact thing that I felt like I could give or could do or could take a step. So for me, it was like, I don't remember what the first one was, but it might have been just like, just go take a shower. And I walked and took a shower, and I was feeling resistance towards like really committing to doing getting out and applying at somewhere. It was just like, well, I am willing to literally get out of the shower, don't feel like committing to getting dressed, going, but I did feel like drying off. So it was like, I just take the very next motivated step, and it was like, yeah, I'm going to want to dry my hair anyway. So I went and did that. Only committed to, I have the towel around me, blow dry my hair, and then it was like, well, I'll at least put on some underwear. And then walking around the house is like, okay, there's clothes that were sitting that I'd actually, you know, these clothes I'd worn the night before that weren't very dirty. It was just like, next step for me is I'm willing to put on those clothes enough to you know, take one more step. And slowly it was like, well, I'm willing to get in the car and drive to my local see the hummingbird, drive to you know, a town to just look around. You know, I didn't even feel like applying online. I felt like the only thing that I was willing to do was just to drive down there. What I ended up doing was parking at a spot that I was willing to, walking around, saw some people that I knew, even talked a little bit about, you know, that I was, you know, getting a feel, looking around maybe to work somewhere. I talked to one guy that, you know, wasn't really what I was looking for, but could be a possibility. I gave one restaurant my name, and, you know, don't feel like I'd get the serving job without serving experience there, but that was what I was willing to do, and it happened, and who knows what will happen through that. And just kind of holding in my mind the kind of just like just taking the next step and doing the thing that I'm willing to do, rather than forcing myself to you know, not be anxious or afraid to you know, go into every store or whatever. I just kind of felt what I was willing to do, and you know, taking little steps, because you know, I guess I've found in my life that oftentimes you have to, God does more with what you feel like is not good enough, or You'd be surprised with, what little steps of faith will produce for you. I feel like I needed to sneeze. But, yeah, it just reminds me of, just some times where it felt like I could have done better, but God used what I could do to bless me and move me forward. And this idea that you don't have to be perfect to win. You just have to believe that you can win with what you can do. And you give your best that you have in those moments. And by best, I don't mean your standard, your highest standard. I think a lot of times we say, like, as long as you do your best or try your best. It really means as long as you did your highest standard, then you can feel okay, or you can feel deserving of what of the outcome that you want. Because you don't know, how hard do you need to work to get the job that you want? You don't know. You don't know how many applications you have to fill out. So a lot of people feel a pressure to do their best means that they need to exhaust themselves, or exhaust themselves plus more, or 110%, or But I feel like your best is really what you're willing to give. What doesn't make you resentful? And in faith, believing that God honors what you have. I'm reminded of this story of, was it 5 loaves and 2 fish? And Jesus multiplied this little boy's lunch to feed 5,000 people. And it just speaks to using what you have, using what you're willing to do, and trusting that that's enough. Trusting that God wants your steps, your actions of faith, not your not your perfection, not your standard of perfection. Because God might be going, you didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to. You could have won the game and, tried less hard. And I'm not advocating for, like in sports, not putting in the effort to make sure that you win the game, or, that you're just laxed and let yourself potentially lose. But I'm talking more on the other end of the extreme pressure to do what you feel like is expected for you to do, when in reality that may not be what's in you today. That may not be what God's given you or where you're at today. And another personal story is when I was at the big one and having some really cool events unfold, just because I complimented this woman that I thought was really pretty. And I actually felt like I had bailed out of the conversation early, or didn't talk to the other people around her, and was just kind of like, I just give my compliment. This is what I kind of feel like doing, but I don't really feel like pushing more uncomfortability on myself. And that is a reminder to me of I didn't have to be perfect. I didn't have to do my best as far as what would have been the perfect thing to do if I didn't have any fear and anxiety, and what beat myself up over not being more brave or courageous in that situation, and seeing God use it, and that was enough. What I had and the steps of faith that I had was enough. And believing for my life going forward that that God is trying to work an incredible life for me and for everyone around us. Starts with the seeds of faith, where this is what I can do, so that for those that struggle with that perfectionistic tendency of if I can't do it perfectly, then don't do it at all. Or if I can't meet the standard, they just feel so much guilt around it that it's like I either have to avoid that subject that I feel like I need to do, or because deep down you're going, I don't want to give what I think I need to, or I'm not willing to put in that much effort, or whatever. And usually when you get started, you do more comes about, but it's starting with that willingness to I'll just go take a shower, I'll just put my clothes on, I'll just drive around, drive around town. I'll just get out of my car, just walk around. I'll just open my camera, I'll just press record. So that's where I'm wanting to move, is just to move in the direction of the thing that you want. The things that you want. Trusting God to give you, a next step and a next step, and that obviously comes with you having to work through the doubts that get triggered up, the insecurities, the big reasons why you don't want to get started on that journey. You either don't believe that you're deserving, you don't believe that it's that easy, you don't trust yourself because other people don't believe that it's that easy or that doable, or that you can be happy doing it because it just triggers up you feeling guilty or whatever, or you feel like you've not measured up to God's standards. So yeah, there's no way that you're going to enjoy your results, because there aren't going to be any meaningful results because you didn't push to your highest standard. So with that, this is my best next step that I can give, and even now I'm like stressing out about what am I going to title this video, but that's not the next step. It comes. I'm not on the screen to type it. I haven't even stop recording. You just go to God and go, here's my 5 loaves and 2 fish. Believing that God is on the other end going, thank you for your faith. Because I see Jesus saying to that little boy, thank you for your faith. Look what I'm about to do. And I hear voices in me going, no, I didn't do enough. That wasn't enough. Or, you don't get a whole big bunch for free, you know what I mean? You don't feed 5,000 for just a lunch, one lunch. But sometimes you do. So, I'm gonna end this here. See where it goes. All right. Goodbye.